Hey YouTube, I was just getting ready to go to sleep, having my last snack that I will have, and then I will wake up and have my coffee and go straight into my dry fast after that. This is broccoli and macadamia nut uh, hummus, lots of garlic. It's delicious, and I'm uh, dipping some of this delicious crunchy vegan snack in it because I tried to make onion rings with beer. I tried to make beer battered onion rings, and it just didn't work out because almond flour in this case just. I think I put too much beer, to be honest, but maybe it had something to do with the almond flour as well. I don't know, but I was watching Sverige again, and I see this guy. He just looks like a fucking beta male, and I mean this is what I'm really noticing. The people the people who go on Sverige and many ex-vegans, I, I I realize something about them. They have either a lot of them are uh, divisive. I think a lot of them are just divisive people who actually never went vegan, never sincerely made that effort. But I think that a lot of them are, they kind of have the moral sense to go vegan, but they're not strong. They're very weak willpowered people. I mean, these are just weak. I mean, this guy in particular just looks weak. He looks fucking weak. Like, he's someone that you would meet and just, like, these people have no willpower. They're, they are the epitome of just poor quality types of people, and it comes out in their psyche when they talk. Um, it obviously comes out in their health. I mean, veganism is it is the master diet. It is, and when you mix it with fasting and ketogenic, you've got the immortal diet. That's the master race, and um, these people can't even get veganism. They're just, even when they're introduced to it, like, I understand if you don't really get the moral thing at first, I can understand that because I was there. But once you get it, if you drop out of it, like, and then you're and then you go anti-vegan, I just, it's so weak, so fucking weak. I saw a comment here. Um, oh, this is funny. This is a comment that comes up from meat eaters, ex vegans, or this kind of person. They like to say now, like, when you go vegan, that they always say, "Oh, I lost all my compassion for humanity," and then I'm like looking at like videos of animals killing other ones because I started turning evil. It's like, you're anti-vegan. You are evil no matter what. I mean, you're still evil. It's like they like to pretend that veganism made them misanthropic. It's like they're currently misanthropic. They're currently hateful, evil. If they've gone that route, it's like you didn't change. You're still the same. You still hate people. So you still hate animals, especially. So fucking hypocritical. Um, Feeling possessed. And he's like, I went vegan. I was so angry. I was so angry. That's because you're weak. You're a weak person. You just can't manage eating healthy and then living with yourself. You can't, and that's the thing. This is really what it is. Psychopaths have to be hurting someone or working towards hurting something at all times. They don't feel comfortable and happy unless they're causing pain to something and suffering. And that's why I said earlier, the ultimate opponent to veganism is psychopaths. And even some psychopaths will get sort of turned on their nature, like misguided from their nature, and that's ultimately what it is. It's like they're experiencing their nature backlash from going to veganism because their nature is to be evil. They're evil, conscienceless creatures, and so when they go vegan, they they realize on a spiritual level that they're turning good, and they're like, I hate being this good. I have to hurt and kill something, and so then they turn anti-vegan. Of course, they find their nature. They're detestable monsters. I mean, it's basically, that's a lot of them. It's interesting how many psychopaths are attracted to veganism. Kind of. It makes sense. Because at the root of veganism is compassion and understanding, and it attracts empathetic people, and so psychopaths swarm around it because they're like, they can feel a force for good, and they're like, we have to destroy that, we have to hurt that, we have to make suffering, and they understand. I mean, on an instinctual spiritual level, psychopaths know that veganism will be their undoing, and so they're doing everything they can to sort of band together, network, and try to demonize veganism as much as they can because it threatens them. They know if veganism takes root, eventually we're going to find them and root that evil out of humanity. They don't want that. And there he is, calling vegans aggressive cultists. It's all projection at the end of the day. They are the aggressive cultists. They are the psychopathic cult. They are the cult of animal sacrifice and enjoying the pain that they cause. They're Anakin Skywalker. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. It's like, one of us cares about the well-being and lives of all conscious creatures. And one of us just hates vegans and eats animals. So and vegans are nothing but all compassionate beings. So the proof is in the pudding, and in your brain scans when we get to that point. Because make no mistake, at some point we're going to be scanning your brains, scanning our brains, scanning everyone's brains, and we're going to mysteriously find that all the anti-vegans, or all the psychopaths, happen to be anti-vegan. How fucking interesting, isn't that? And it's because, on a spiritual level, we're enemies. We are perfect enemies. But here's the thing. Long run behavior. Unless you owl man humanity. Unless you owl man humanity. You know what I'm saying? Unless you wipe us all out. I'm not saying it's impossible. I mean humanity. Wipe out humanity completely. The vegans are going to win because the sheep will not side with you. The sheep, when they understand that you're wolves and that they're sheep and that we're the shepherds, they will side with us because they know we are correct and that we care about them and that you don't. Finally, when it comes to that, we won't let you have a single sheep. We will destroy all of you. Every last one of you, because you're evil. I mean, actually comparing you to a wolf isn't really, you're worse than wolves. Wolves are just predators that thin the herd. I can respect nature in that way. I don't respect psychopaths because you're willing to pick off anything, anyone. You're just... I see those who should not go down, and because of that, I have no tolerance. So, when the crusade begins, we will remove all of you permanently. Because in the future you have no place among us. Any vestigial offering that psychopaths once gave to humanity is lost in the current era. There's no use for you. So, make your anti-vegan videos, make your anti-vegan comments while you still can. Now, I will defend anti-vegans on one thing though. There's some bullshit in the vegan movement. There's some bullshit that should be debunked. I don't trust fruitarians. I think that it's okay to offer scrutiny to veganism, but and movements within veganism, but I'm not getting legitimate scrutiny from most anti-vegans. I'm just getting propaganda and hate, which is not useful. Now, and even Sverige and Milk Jar, I think deserve uh, a platform to speak from, because they're skeptical minded towards veganism. I mean, not towards meat eating, ironically. They're one sided skeptical, but that's a useful person. If someone, uh, I mean, it's very much, I would sort of paint a picture of sort of, I guess, tempering or sharpening a sword. If someone is giving you resistance, uh, that can be super useful, because you are challenged when you're challenged on your ideas. Uh, you can spot what is not useful, and I think that part of the vegan movement has been cults from gurus. I hear this name come up a lot, Dr. Morse. I haven't looked at his shit. I have no idea who he is. I was pulled to veganism by Vegan Gains. I was pulled to my current state by first Amin Ra, and then I started listening to ketogenic dieters, because many of them were speaking against veganism, and I thought, okay, maybe you have something to offer here. Tell me what's great about your side. They're right about ketosis. They're right about a lot of things after you do your research. But they're wrong about plant-based. So you combine it. Mix all that with fasting, and you got the immortal diet. Seeing, I mean, it's like every one of these anti-vegans, they all comment the same bullshit. It's like, so I've been vegan, with sliding back a couple times into non-vegan for, I guess, 3 years now. And there's been a few times where I'm traveling. I mean, when I first came to Asia, it was like really hard to just, like, I'm getting drunk and then people are dragging me to different places, and I'm just like, I have to get food, and then I ate meat or dairy or something. There's been just some events where uh, I had a little bit of non-vegan food here or there, but as far back as I can remember now, I've been eating vegan. So, and at this point, it's not hard. It's really not hard to just eat only vegan. I've gotten to a point where it's not even in my mind to reach for something non-vegan. I would say one of the hardest things going vegan, one of the hardest things for going vegan is reprogramming, because initially I was brainwashed into the mentality that oh, I get my nutrition, I get specific nutrition from eating meat and dairy and eggs, and it's important because it's dense. And when I felt like really hungry, it was hard for me to just be like, no, uh, I'm just gonna go for that, and get those nutrients. It was really hard to sort of reprogram myself to understand. And now I really, really see that all of those nutrients you can get from plant sources. And it's easy. It's easy now. It's like there's not a moment in my day when I think I must eat meat, dairy, or eggs. There's always a vegan option, and it's easy. It's easy now, but it wasn't in the beginning. It was quite hard. I feel better than I ever have in my life. My mind, my body. I was just hanging out with my meat-eating friend today, and we went and we're going out, and it's really fucking hot. We come back to my house, and they're just like dead tired after the heat, just dead, and I'm just wide awake. We got up at the same time, slept at the same time, but they're just beat to hell. And it's so obvious to me because I look at the nutrition, all the reasons why. So I gave them some sodium, potassium, and water, trying to help them to get some energy. And they had to take a nap. This hummus is amazing. I put some sriracha in it. Feels like I'm feeding some kind of addiction with every bite. It's so easy to sustain a vegan diet. It's not hard. It's delicious. When you learn to eat vegan, it feels better. It's like when I used to eat meat and dairy, and I mean, if you're honest with yourself, you'll probably know exactly what I'm talking about, because I even have meat eater friends who talk about this still. You eat enough food, you start to feel really disgusting, and your food seems disgusting. And the reason is because you're getting full on dead animals and secretions and periods. That's what you're eating. When you're not eating dead animals and animal secretions and periods, you don't get sick from your food. But yeah, I just find these anti-vegans so ridiculous. They're and there's the thing, all I have is love for anyone who, for anyone, even anti-vegans, if they're not psychopaths, because everyone can get really confused. Anyone can get really confused. Especially dumb people. And I don't hate dumb people. Uh, I... But the meat-eating kind, like, I'm happy that they'll die earlier. Not because I want them to die, I just want them to quit eating meat, and I understand their stupidity is the cause of that. But if I had my choice, I'd prefer that they just quit eating meat. Well, I'm out of that delicious onion snack. I still have hummus left, but this video is really long. I hope that, oh, I came up with a catchphrase. Nothing tastes better than good karma.